I don't know whether or not it's common, but I would say that it definitely happens. The thing is, drugs are primarily an economic issue. If you've got a lot of kids in and around council estates hanging out and nothing for them to do, it's very easy for them to wind up going down that road. So yeah, it definitely happens, but it's not like everybody is out there doing drugs. I think that if you can get over that phase of your life and come out the other side, then that's the most important thing. But you're always going to have people who get a taste for it and try to carry on, and some of those people are going to be in football and some of them get caught. So I wouldn't say it's an epidemic. I would say it's an issue though, and I think that the only way to really clean it up and get to the bottom of it is to have regular drug tests. Remove the random element of it, but every player ought to be tested and be available for testing, and I think the random element should be at what stage of the month the drug test comes. But I think every squad should be drug tested. I think that if something goes wrong, then we'll deal with it. But until that happens, for all intents and purposes, everything is fine. There is just so much going on in clubs trying to win. It takes an enormous amount of energy, focus and drive to win a single match of football. And there has to be a level or responsibility that rests with the players to look after themselves. You can't mother everyone 24/7, and I think that's why we have this philosophy that if something goes wrong, we'll deal with it, and until then it's all fine. Yeah, I know some players that do. I've spoken to them, told them you're stupid, that you're putting so much at risk. And I think for a lot of them it's easy to forget that once you go down that road, when you get a bit older, that it's not just you anymore, it's your family, your kids, your extended family, you know. The people that you expose is greatly increased, rather than if it's just a young kid that comes through and makes a mistake, that happens. But that's the bit I can't get my head around for older players that do it. It isn't just about them, it's everybody else that you're affecting with your behaviour. Since I started The Secret Footballer, I was guilty of not giving drugs enough attention and passing it off as something that only happens in cycling or somewhere else. It doesn't happen in football, and I got a bit precious about that. But actually when you look into it, there's not a massive issue. It's not like every player is doing it, only a few here and there that I know of. But it is happening, and I think I sort of owed it to the people that come out and accuse me of being blinkered to hold my hands up and say, yeah, actually you might have a point. This is what I know about it. And coming from the point of someone who's been there myself, before I started playing football, I can kind of relate to what makes someone do that. So I kind of felt that I had to mention it and talk about it, and as I started writing it, it became its own chapter, as I realised there was more and more, so it kind of backed that up. Yeah, I should include it. Yes, there are a lot of players who go down that route, and it always seems to be cocaine. For some reason, I don't know whether it's because it's most readily available, I'm not really sure. I've been out with a lot of ex-players, and it becomes a proper night out and they'll be there doing it. But it's a funny thing because of the football mentality, and you get changed next to each other each day and you know everything about them. And I've been in hotel rooms with women and things like that all together, and things that footballers are comfortable to do in front of footballers never ceases to amaze me. And people rolling up notes and snorting a line of cocaine. Ex-players, admittedly, they're quite happy to just do that in front of their other footballers. They are very, very comfortable with that, which is nice on the one hand, but puts you in an awkward situation if you're uncomfortable with it yourself.